So there are two ways to pass an evaluation account, right? You just logged into MyFundedFutures.com and you're like, hey, I like this firm. I like the website. It's super slick. Let me go ahead and get an expert account. I love the fact that it's a one-step. There's no activation fee. You get your account. What do? You immediately go long 15 contracts. You blow the account up in about, 12 minutes. Okay, so now you're back to square zero. You go back to MyFundedFutures.com. You get another account. And you're like, all right, this time it's going to be different. I'm going to get lucky. All right, so you roll the dice again. You go, I'll just do 10 contracts this time. Oh, you're green. Whew, first trade worked out. No sweat. That's awesome. Okay, second trade. I'm going to do it again. I just need to get to 12K profit. I'm at 7K. I can do it all in one session. You roll the dice again, 10 contracts. You blow the account up in 2 trades. Okay, you're back to square zero. All right, we're going to do it different this time. This time, we're going to use a 100K account because for whatever reason, that'll be different. Even though it's my strategy that's bad, I'm going to try a different account. So I get a 100K account. You log back in. You roll the dice. Poof, account gets blown up again. All right. We're going to go back to 150K account. So you get another 150K account. See where I'm going with this, guys? If that's you, you need to stop, okay? We're focused on developing real traders here, real trading strategies, okay? When it comes to passing accounts at any prop firm, you're always going to have the people that show how they were able to get in and out quickly with a few trades and essentially get lucky, right? The fact of the matter is the market can only go in 2 directions. It's going to go up at any moment in time or it's going to go down at any moment in time, which means that any random person could flip a coin and in that moment, they could make money, right? In fact, about 50% of the people, if everybody flipped a coin and took a trade based off the outcome, half of them would make money in that moment. The problem is if they flipped it again and again and again and again and again, everybody would reach zero. Okay, the only way to make money as a trader is to apply discretion, read the market, and you ultimately have to hold your winners longer than your losers. Otherwise, the math always goes to zero. So how do we do that in an eval? What are some of the strategies that you could use as a new trader to make sure that you pass your account regardless of whatever the profit target is? It honestly doesn't matter. You should get an account that fits your psychology, that fits your leverage needs first and foremost, whether it's a 50K, 150K, whatever it is that suits that purpose. Ultimately, if you're making money, it won't matter. But let's take a look at the charts and figure out what some winning strategies are for new prop traders to help you get your first funded account. Make sure you subscribe to our channel, check out our Discord, and join us on our education sessions, which we host in the Discord as well. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna need is a chart, right? This is where we start as traders, and this chart should give us some intuition about a bias, okay? So I just got my 150K account from MyFundedFutures, okay? And let's actually look at what that gives me. $150,000 account. I'm going to get an expert account. It's 30% off. I like that deal. There's a $12,000 profit target and I have up to 15 contracts that I can use. And I have a trailing max drawdown. It's an end of day trailing drawdown of $4,500. Okay. So I don't want to blow this up mostly because of time, right? Whether I don't have a lot of money or I have infinite money, that's besides the point. Failure is not the goal. Our goal is to be successful. So how can I get $12,000 profit knowing that I have 15 contracts and I have an end of day trailing of $4,500? Well, let's go over to the chart, take a look. Okay, NQ right now, we can actually go over to the NQ chart and get rid of that. It's from another video. Don't need those. All good information though. And what do we have here? So we are in a higher high, higher low situation, and I'll draw this out for you just with some squiggles. Okay, so we did here, something like this. Then we went higher high, and then we did a higher low, and then we did a higher high, kind of puttered out, and then we did a higher low. Then we came up, did a little sweep here on FOMC, came down, did a higher low, and then we just did a higher high. Okay, you can see that we have this trend line here, which is being respected. We have this eternal trend line, which is being respected. Okay, so higher high, higher low situation. I just got my eval. I'm looking at the market, and I know that we're in a higher high, higher low situation. So my first step is making sure that my leverage is going along with the major trend. Okay, am I utilizing leverage along with the major trend? 1, am I utilizing leverage along with the major trend? Okay, 2, am I trading small enough to catch the major move? And 3, do I understand what reasonable EV is on the day? Okay, EV stands for expected value. So let's go back in time a little bit to do a little replay, and let's go back to this session here. Okay, so FOMC just happened. We have this bottom trend line. We're in a higher high, higher low situation. I know that we need a higher low to come in. So we just did a low right here, right? FOMC came in. I know that this likes to retest this trend line. We could see that it actually retested this trend line previously. Okay, and I need to make $12,000 in this eval. I need to make $12,000 and I need to not blow it up. Okay, I have $4,500 of trailing. So there's a few different options here. I could go long 5MQ or NQ. So I could long 5NQ, which means I need how many points? 120 points. Okay, 120 points to do it in one session. Now, we're going to be smart traders though. Okay, we're not necessarily going to try and pass all in one day, but you absolutely could. You absolutely could by trading with a major trend. I'm giving you guys cheat codes here. Okay, one of the things that I always say for traders is, don't try to pass quickly, just try to trade smart. If you trade smart, you will pass. Okay, if you trade smart, you will pass. I'll say that again. If you trade smart, you will pass. Okay, now I want to imagine a scenario. I want to paint another picture for you because I think stories, do the best to really solidify these examples. You're trying to pass as quickly as possible, so you're doing high leverage to pass within a day, then you fail. Then the next day, because you want to pass quickly, you high leverage, then you fail. Then the next day, you want to pass quickly with high leverage, and then you fail. So you've just spent 3 days trying to pass quickly. You've blown up 3 accounts when what you could have done is just have one account that you pass in 3 days. You could have saved the money, less stress. You didn't experience that failure because you weren't trying to over leverage and pass in one day. And there are people who are doing this over a much longer amount of time. There are people who are failing for weeks and weeks and weeks or even months. They never get payouts from any firms, okay, because they're always trying to sprint to the finish line. Okay, so what you should do is wait for a trade that fits the major trend. Okay, so what does it mean to trade smart? Wait for a trade that fits the major trend. And I'm going to define the trend here a little bit different, right? Our trend is higher highs and higher lows. So it doesn't mean that you have to just long or that you have to just short. It just means that I should look for a higher low. So in this situation here, the higher low is probably going to be down around this trend line. Okay, there's a few different targets that I could utilize here. If you've been on our live sessions, our education sessions, you know that we are volume profile traders, myself and Sol. And there's a few targets here, right? So we have the point of control from this session. We have this trend line here. That's a good target. And then we also have the 425, April 25th POC on the 1 hour. So let's see where we go to for liquidity here. And again, we're looking for an area that is going to be a higher low. So this is a valid higher low in this major trend. So you take this long here. This is actually a long that I did take. And what is the expected value on this trade? Okay, now I want to get rid of this session volume profile again. And I want you to think about what I just said. What is the major trend? Higher highs and higher lows. So if this is the higher low, what happens after every higher low? We get a higher high. Okay, and I need to make $12,000. Okay, which means that the next higher high should be above here. So if this is the higher low, then this is a higher high is going to be beyond this. So a reasonable take profit, a reasonable expectation for the market, actually, just in terms of technical analysis, is that we're going to sweep this high. That's 563 points. So you need to ask yourself, in your trading style, you've blown up all your accounts. Are you trading with a major trend? Are you getting into trades that give a very obvious expected value of over 500 points? I mean, this is a very obvious trade. And with a 12K profit target, there's a few things that we could do here. Okay, I originally was going to long 5NQ, but I mean, heck, if the EV is 560 points, okay, this might take more than one session, but what I could do is I could long, 1NQ. Okay, now if I go long 1NQ for 500 points, 560 points, let's do some quick math. Okay, that's 20. So one contract times 20 is, one contract is $20. So we have $20 times 560. It's $11,200. Okay, $11,200. One contract, one trade. One contract, one trade. Okay, and that's assuming you got the 150K account. Let's go review some of the other options that MyFundedFutures offers. Okay, so that's a $12,000 profit target. I just did that across. It might take a few days. It doesn't really matter how long it takes for that trade to plan out, honestly, right? You might have to split it into 2 trades. You can't hold trades through settlement. Doesn't even matter. The point is that you could go long and you can hold it through that. And one of the cool things about MyFundedFutures is that we have end of day drawdown. So there's no trailing. So you don't have to worry about it coming back at all. You can hold through all of the zigzag that the market's going to give you until you hit that profit target. Okay. If you're in a 100K account, you've passed in one trade with one contract. Okay. How many of you are making less than $11,000 trading 5 contracts? Okay. 6 contracts, 10 contracts. You get the point. $50,000 account, you know, you're definitely passing. Okay. And the really cool thing about this trade as well is that there's very little drawdown. Okay. If you remember what our entry was, we were looking at the point of control here. We can see that you could put your stop down here at a sweep here, about 81 points. So one contract that's a little over almost $2,000 of drawdown, essentially. It's 20 times 76, $1,400, something like that, okay? For an EV of 11,000 on one trade. That's an amazing outcome, an amazing trade that you could take that'll either pass your account or almost pass it. Now, on timing, again, we said that you don't have to pass in one day. So let's see how long it actually took. If I took this long here on May 2nd, how long it actually took for this trade to play out, okay? So we get here, we come up to this 815 area in this low value node. We rejected it, we respected it, okay? A little pullback, consolidation, and then it actually took us until the 3rd for this trade to finish, okay? So you can see here that if we went long here at 10 a.m. on the 2nd, we'd have to split that trade into multiple trades. That's fine. Even if you just longed right after settlement close, okay, you would catch the rest of that trade. Now, obviously, there's data days to account for here. We had this 8:30 a.m. data candle, but that's fine, okay? That's totally fine. For the sake of the example, you can even take some of this leg out, 200 points out. You're still capturing 300 points, okay? One contract is 300 points, $6,000, okay? So even accounting for the data, accounting for, you know, the rules that we're requiring you to follow, there's still a huge amount of expected value that you can capture by trading with the major trend, trading with small leverage, and not gambling, not going in and saying, I need to pass on these lower time frames. So if we go into these lower time frames, by the way, let's go into the, you know, I'm on the 15-minute right now. If we go, let's just zoom into this session right here. Okay, this session right here. A lot of you guys are looking for trades from here to here, okay? You're trying to catch this little short with 10 contracts, okay? You're trying to catch this short with 10 contracts, whatever it is. Or you're doing something even crazy. You're trying to go from, you know, here to here. You're trading against an uptrend, right? We have this continuation kind of oval signal here. We touch the trend line, and you're trying to catch these little pullbacks in the major uptrend. You know, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes I see people make all the time, is shorting into the uptrend for whatever reason. It's like this psychological ego reaction where it's like, I know we're going up, like, you know it's going up, but you're shorting into it based off the width of the trend. Okay, just go long, right? There's way more EV if you go long at any point here. Okay, at literally any point in this trend, if you just know it's going up, you can see that this is 100 points here, right? Tons of EV just by trading with the trend. Your drawdown becomes almost irrelevant when you trade smart. And we'll go down to here where it says, if you trade smart, you will pass. Okay, so stop gambling your accounts. Trade with the major trend. Trading with the major trend is going to allow you to pass your account. Be patient. You don't have to trade every single day. Get rid of this idea that you need to pass today so that you can get paid tomorrow. Okay, because if you try to force yourself passing today so you can get paid tomorrow, what'll happen is that you'll blow up today, you'll blow up tomorrow, and then you'll spend the next week chasing accounts and you might never get paid. Okay, it's actually really feasible, possible for you to pass quickly. You just need to change your expectation about what quickly is. Okay, quickly isn't right now. Quickly is if I get into a trade and if I trade smart, then I will quickly be rewarded with the fruits of my efforts. Okay, you will quickly experience pain, blow-ups, and things like that if you don't trade smart. So that is the point of this video. Just kind of going to give you an example of what trading with the major trend looks like and how that would apply to any of the evals in this current market environment. The VIX is up right now, right? So if we actually just take a look at the VIX really quickly. So if we look at the VIX on the daily, I really only look at the VIX on the daily. We can see that the VIX on the daily is a little bit lower here, okay? The VIX tends to go opposite of the market. So on the VIX on the daily, if it's at its low pivot, it should go up. And if we go back to NQ, right, this should be triggering alarm bells in your head, again, based off of what I was just talking about, following the major trend. Okay, VIX is at the low, market's at the highs. We're at this previous major support area. Okay, probably going to reject soon-ish. If we don't, I would expect a rocket, right? The VIX would break structure, this would break structure, and we're going to fly through. Very, very simple. TA, simplicity wins in the long run. Keep it simple. Find the major liquidity targets using the tools at your disposal. And that's it for this video. Again, make sure you subscribe, join us in the Discord, check out all the links below for our latest promotions, as well as, you know, the Discord that I run if you're looking for a trading community. See you in the next video. Peace.